Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's a Friday, so we're just gonna get straight into it. Not gonna say hi to anyone. I'm glad you guys are in here, but I'm not saying hi to you. Let's go. SPY. You got SPY, big ripper today. Nothing different. Everything exactly the same. Why did I take heavy hedges into the close? Here is why I took heavy hedges into the close. Give me 1 second. Get rid of these dirty yellow lines here. But like I told you, these channels always form and you never know when the top is. Sometimes it teases the top, comes back and comes and retests it. Sometimes it just stays at the top for days. But the only thing is, when it stays at the top for days, it has a fat pullback and then gets back up there. So what I was saying, why I took hedges today, we're at the top of the channel again. You guys have to pay attention to these daily charts, weekly charts. I know intraday everyone has 5-minute charts open. I have a bunch of 5-minute charts open, but these daily charts are really telling. So the long-term trend on SPY says we're right at the top of the channel again. And last time we were at the top of the channel here, we pulled back hard. Now everyone bought the dip and we went back up. And the next day they bought the dip and we went back up. But look at the next day after that. So we're having a lot of trouble breaking through this trend line here. So right now, today we had a monster day on SPY. 1.06% on an index is a big day. But again, we ended right at the top of the trend line. So that's why I took VIX and IWM puts, just because IWM is my favorite thing to short. Why is it my favorite thing to short? It's the small caps. It's got a bunch of garbage in them. They got AMC now. They got GME. They got all these short squeeze stocks that don't deserve to be in an index. They're in an index just because they have a market cap now. And that's why I take IWM instead of SPY, but it's kind of, they all move together. If SPY dumps on Monday, they're all going to go down and IWM will go down the most. So that's why I took IWM puts and VIX hedge for next week. Not too heavy, but heavier than usual. QQQ, the reason I told you guys not to take it is because my portfolio is heavy in calls still. I did raise a lot of cash, as I've been saying, for a week. But I feel more comfortable hedged larger than normal. We'll see if my hit. You've seen my IWM puts last week. I hit them for 820%. So if I hit 820% on the size that I took this week, it's a home run. Okay. So that's why I took the hedges into next week. XLF. We got QQQ here. Nice ripper today. XLF was strong today as well. That's why SPY was up so much. Again, QQQ is tech sector. XLF is financials. Those are the two most heavily weighted sectors in SPY. So you have to pay attention to these if you want to pay attention to SPY, basically. So XLF, we have bank earnings next week. They have good. They raised their dividends. Everything looks good. I mean, XLF daily looks like garbage. Let's just switch it up again, like we do. I like putting it like that just so I can watch both of them at the same time. Here's QQQ first. QQQ just bullish. Nothing really to say here. There's a huge channel. We still have upside on QQQ, but if we dump on SPY on Monday, we might have a problem with QQQ pulling back as well. Right now, everything looks bullish. I'm not going to say anything's bearish on this chart. It looks great. I mean, we are a little bit extended. We just grinded up so long, but we can keep grinding up as long as we want. They can take all the bears' money and then dump after that, which is usually what the market makers try to do. And everything looks fine on QQQ. XLF, on the other hand, let's see if we broke that 50-day. We still are under the 50-day on XLF. So we're trading within this range I told you guys. So the low on XLF we have is 35.18. That's the main support. The next support on XLF is this low right here. So we did set a higher low on the daily. Now we need a higher high. A higher high meaning we need to close above 37.02 next week. So if we close above 37.02 XLF, everything looks fine. But the next resistance right here is this teal blue line, which is a 50-day moving average. So we have 37.13 on top and 35.18 on the bottom. So we're moving within a $2 range on XLF. Just watch that range. 50-day moving average and this last low here, which is the pivot point. So watch XLF there. Other than that, everything looks great. Bank earnings next week. Let's see what happened. Everyone should know Zim by now. I made a YouTube video on it when it first came out. I called it out way back here at $20. Everyone got $40 on equity and sold. If you held on, you got more gains, but I sold at $40. I got $20. I got a double on my stock in like a month, so I'm happy with that. I jumped back in today because I was reading an article on shipping, and shipping is really booming. They have the highest ship rate in a very long time on Zim. So I jumped back into call options today, the $50 calls for August. They were up immediately. Zim just grinded up all day. Everything looks great on this chart. We did break below the 50-day moving average, but as you see, the 50-day moving average just started here. So this is not enough information to just trade it on charts based on fundamentals and what's going on in the world right now with China. They're actually the #1 supplier from Baba into the rest of the world. So if you watch my YouTube video, you'll know about all their deals and all their partnerships they got. It's a very solid company. And if shipping stays strong, I expect Zim to make a lot more money and go a lot higher. So that's why I called in $50 calls. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to get back to prior highs. All-time high on this one is $49.90. So let's see what happens here. We got neg. I don't even know why I have this open. It was a great trade we made. Today we caught that LHDX because one of our members called it out as a gamma squeeze. It wasn't really a gamma squeeze. But what I wanted to show you is these 3 candles. So pop, this is an hourly chart. I just want to compare it to neg. That's the only reason I have neg open. So when it first went, right, huge pop on low volume. Second bar was huge pop on big volume. And then the third one was a pullback on LHDX. Look at neg when we traded it. Look at this, huge pop, right? Second huge pop, and then consolidation on the third candle. And then the next 4 hours, we went straight up in a line. So let's see if these next 4 candles, we go straight up in a line. That's just the comparison that I see right now. Anything is possible. Let's see what happens on Monday. LHDX, I am still holding next week's calls. Let's see what happens. Who cares? UPST, this is a ticker that I want you to watch for next week. This company is actually really cool. So I was reading about this company. What they do is if you have credit card bills, house payments, car payments, wedding payments, whatever the hell, they actually put them all together and you pay it all as one fee per month. And it's really popular in the United States right now. They're taking ads out on YouTube and all kinds of stuff. And when I see ads on YouTube, I tend to look into the company. So this one, it's kind of a good technical setup as well. I said in the group today, over 125 UPST should fly. I'm not sure when earnings is. TradingView says August 11th, but I heard it was July 30th. So I'll just make sure when the earnings are and watch this one for continuation. Over 125, this one can fly. So over 125, we have a lot of limit order, sell orders here. And then there's another level at 131. So 125 to 131, and through that, look, it's all thin air. All the way to all-time highs, which is 191. So there's a lot of room for this one to run, especially if it gets a pre-earnings run-up like we've played in the past. Keep an eye on Upstart, UPST. TMUS, Stonkshins, what's his name again? Stonkshins asked for this one. I don't know what he means. Looks decent. I mean, I like that it closed above the 21-day. 8 days at 146.29. I would have loved if it closed above 146.29, which is the 8-day, but it did close above the 21-day. Let's see if it gets continuation tomorrow. This is an ugly doji right here, but doji meaning there's a lot of upper wick and lower wick, which means there's a lot of day trading and a lot of profit taking today. But other than that, I don't really see it as anything. It could be a pivot point, like you see back here is a pivot off the 50-day. Over here is a pivot just randomly out of nowhere. But over here, there's not really anything to say because it was like over here, it was a 3-day pullback and then a pivot up. Over here, it was a 3-day pullback and then a pivot up. And then just look for patterns in the past. Right now, this chart tells me absolutely nothing. There's a lot of volume here, so it held that volume shelf. That's really good. Next week, if it starts bullish, it can run because there's not that much volume up here. So keep an eye on TMUS. The only resistance left is this. All-time high. All-time high at 148.70. So just watch through 148.70 is the only play I see on this one right now. IWM, the one I took puts on. So you guys all seen that amazing put play we did yesterday on IWM puts. We hit it for 820%. It was this one, 820% down. We sold in the morning. I made a big chunk of change right at 9:30 in the morning. Sold them. I waited 3 candles because in the morning they usually flush out the rest of the longs for 15 minutes, which is just something you get with experience. So I waited 15 minutes and I jumped in calls. And then someone in our group, a lot of people in our group hit this one for 230%, 250% to the call side too. So imagine hitting 800% down and then 230% up. That's exactly the kind of moves you want in this market, especially with a volatile market. And today it just looks strong all day, just holding up all day. I took puts, but I don't recommend you guys take them. It's kind of a crazy person play. Let's see if it pay off. Let's go PayPal. PayPal called out through this resistance yesterday. Calls were up like 80% at one point. I think they're still up 80%. PayPal had like 6 analyst upgrades today. I sent them all in the group. They had yesterday analyst upgrades, today analyst upgrades, and it just ripped. So right now, if you zoom out on PayPal, we do have the July 16th, so I'm still holding mine. The only resistance that matters now, you see how I had this resistance run? Why did I have this resistance run? We had a big volume shelf here, and this was the resistance zone between the wick and the body of the candle. So that's all I was watching on PayPal, and we closed above it, which is super, super bullish. And now the only resistance left for PayPal is 309.14, which is the all-time high. We closed above all the volume shelves. There's not much volume up here. If the market is bullish on Monday, I fully expect PayPal to hit 309 next week. So let's see. Unless the market pulls back, which I'm kind of expecting as well. Got Amazon here. Everyone is talking about Amazon. I hate when everyone's talking about one stock. We hit the 3700s last Friday on Ricky's call out. One day, Amazon 1200%. We made a very nice profit from that. We hit the 3475s last Friday. We hit the 3700s this week, and we hit the 3800s this week. And all of them were in the money. The last couple went to zero. I don't care. It was all just profit anyways. And Ricky still got, I think, like 4 layers of Amazon. He's got spreads for August. He's got spreads for September. They're expensive as hell, so I didn't take them. But the chart looks fantastic. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. The monthly on Amazon shows us that we have at least a 1,000-point move left. But at the same time, are you going to hold this for months? Or you think the market's going to keep going up for months? You think the Fed's not going to raise rates for months? Like, you got to take all this stuff into consideration before you enter positions like this. And in my opinion, I don't think the market goes up for that long. So Ricky's in the monthlies. I wish all the best to him. But for me right now, I'm just playing it day by day. We'll see what happens with the Delta variant, the Fed, the tapering rates, the lockdowns happening again. There's too many narratives right now for me to take long out positions. I still have my BABA 2023 and my CCIV 2023. I will not sell those because I have 2 years for those, so I don't really care. I'll add on the dip. Neo didn't do anything today. I heard good news today. They're opening 4,500 charging stations. They had a power day where they were going to talk about their battery. Neo went straight down for 5 days straight. So today I took a shot on lottos. Like, I put $1,000 into super lottos. It doesn't matter. So the thing you have to understand with our Friday super lottos, especially mine, we hit Snow for 1,000%. We hit Amazon for 1,200%. When you hit these super lottos, if I hit one super lotto last Friday for 1,000%, even if your next 10 super lottos on Fridays go to zero, you're still net even. And how many times have you guys seen us call out zero plays? So today I called out this Neo. It went to zero. Last Friday, we got Amazon for 1,200%, which more than covers this week's super lotto. So you have to think of it in that way, not everything individually. It's net your whole account. So that's why Neo just deterred today. It didn't really do anything. It just went down, sideways. That's it. Straight down off the open. Chop. No one cares. Sorry, I was going to swear there. But yeah, no one cares. We'll see next Friday. Next Friday we'll hit 1,000% or you'll forget about this Neo. Don't worry. Here's CAT. We see it in the morning. A lot of rotation they rotated from tech to value, which made no sense to me at all because if the interest rates are down, tech should rally, not value names. So right now, we saw in the morning, CAT had a very nice pop. I think BV7 caught a beautiful lotto on it right here. I don't know when he sold. I don't remember seeing when he sold, but I remember he caught it on the run, killed it, and went sideways for the rest of the day, just like it should. Like, value is not going anywhere. Why would you buy, especially with the Delta variant and lockdowns coming again, why would you buy, like, airlines or Airbnb or Caterpillar I get for the infrastructure bill, but like airlines, I don't know. Some people I know buying it just to buy the dip, like, but I mean, look how this can keep dipping. Like, there's no guarantee we're gonna rotate back into them. Personally, I think lockdowns are coming again. Delta variant's bigger than they're telling you. Everyone that's vaccinated, they're gonna have an excuse that they're going to say the people that didn't vaccinate are the ones that caused the variant, but that's all conspiracy theories for another day. Let's move on. So almost everyone in MSL grabbed some form of Bitcoin play today. T and Tony, the responsible leader, jumped into this Coinbase. This had a beautiful move. I know Tony nailed it for like 1,000%. So he nailed it through this breakout. Yesterday he came to me and told me, like, should I sell, should I buy? I told him I would sell personally, but it's up to you just because there's so much volume here. We retested the resistance and we broke underneath it. So I said if it was me personally, I would have sold it. Today, obviously, we had a pop and I was wrong. Shit happens. Not a big deal. Coinbase, what else do we have? We had a nice little run up today in the morning, straight up and then just straight sideways. So let's see what happens with Bitcoin over the weekend. It will affect this coin. It will also affect this monster that they took. They both jumped in this monster too. I was going to take monster, but I hate trading monster. The option spreads on monsters are awful. They're like 6-7 point spreads on monster. So I will never trade monster. If I ever want to, yeah, MicroStrategy, MSTR. What?
You said monster.
Oh, whatever. Same shit. So MSTR, yeah, the spreads on options are awful. I would much rather play this equity. But if I was playing this Bitcoin, I would rather play Riot. I would rather play Mara. I would rather play Coinbase. I'd play Ostic. There's like 100 different types of ways to play Bitcoin. So why would I play something with spreads this awful? Some people love playing it. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not for me. And also, I did average down on my Riot August calls. I have $40 calls for August. I averaged them down to $3. And why did I do this? I am expecting a bounce on Bitcoin. I've been calling it for a while. Right now, it's just going sideways. I think it's just getting the shorts excited. Just my opinion. I might be wrong. Obviously, you guys know I've been wrong before. But right now, the longer it holds here, exactly what I say all the time. The longer it holds here, without taking the all-time high, like strongly, the more chance of a fallback. And you guys know, everyone knows, I called it on the video when we crashed. I literally called it like right here that we were going to crash, and then we just dumped. So right now, what I'm seeing is this whole chop zone, this whole little range that we're playing in, this is getting shorts excited. So they're waiting for a break of this lower level at 31,454. And when that breaks, a lot more shorts are going to jump in, and I expect a big reversal. So just like right here, when it broke, a lot of shorts jumped in, and then they reversed it hard to squeeze them out. When it broke here, a lot of shorts jumped in, squeezed them out. This time when it breaks, it's the third time. So let's see if it actually breaks and goes down to 19,000, or it breaks and reverses and squeezes out all the shorts again. And I expect Bitcoin to hit 40K before going lower. I put it in the crypto chat. Everyone's seen it. And we'll see what happens. Sava, we had 107. I had 200% on my calls this morning. Didn't sell. Some news came out on BIIB on the Alzheimer's trial. It affected Sava. It came straight down after that. I already took a bunch of profit on those calls. I only have a little bit left, my last piece. So I'm not really too worried about it. If news comes out on Sava over the weekend, you're going to see this thing gap up and go like crazy, because that's how these medical companies work. We had like 200% on our calls right here, and then just straight down after that bib news. News will affect charts in a big way. Sometimes charts are aligned with news. Sometimes news just breaks charts. So this morning on Sava, this was one of the most beautiful charts in the stock market. There's only two levels to watch. I told you 92.50, 177. We closed above 92.50 and 100. We closed above 92.50 on July 7th. On July 8th, we closed above 177. Today we were going to go for that 117.54 all-time high, but then that news came out. It happens, whatever. We held 92.50, which is the main thing. You see where it bounced from today? The low of the day was 92, and it immediately got bought up at that level, which tells me this prior resistance turns into support now. So we might go sideways until news comes out. We might rip and news comes out over the weekend. We'll see what happens. Not worried about it. We still have another week on those. They're still green, by the way. I think they're up like 40-50% still. So not worried about those at all. Facebook, both the admins, me and T jumped on this one today. So why did I jump in is because we broke this resistance. 1 second, I'll show you on the daily. This is a daily on Facebook right here. We had a clear resistance line drawn out right here. We broke through it. We came back and retested it. which was really bullish. But then yesterday when the dip happened, we dumped below it. Even when we dipped, we held this 21-day perfectly. The 21 days at 342.70. We dipped to 342.56 and was bought up immediately. So today we took out this resistance line back to the upside. So what did I do? I jumped in $350 calls for next week right here, I believe. Yeah, I jumped in right here at around 348. I jumped in 350 calls for next week. I think they're up like 30%. I think T jumped in 350 calls for today right here. And then or right here, I think. He jumped in 350 calls for today. So if we got that move that we wanted, T would have made 100% on his calls because they're same day expiry. And I only would have got 30 or 40% because I took the safer route and took next week's. So that was the difference in the plays in the admins, just in case you didn't get it. But he sold his, I think, for a nice gain. I held mine. There's nothing wrong with Facebook. We closed at the absolute almost high of the day. So everything looks bullish. This candle on the daily looks very bullish to me as well. It looks like a reversal doji right here. This looks like a pivot. Okay, what I mean by pivot is this. So we're dumping, and then this was the pivot, and we went up, right? Right here, straight sideways, dump, pivot, and up. So these kind of candles you can watch for pivots. Let's see if we open up bullish on Monday. See what happens. I still have a lot of calls. That's why I hedged as well. I didn't take space puts, no. I already have enough positions. I'm watching. My hair is going to turn gray if I take more positions. Snowflake. This was the one we missed. I remember back on May 14th, I hit this one. I remember the date. That's how good it was. We hit space on May 14th. Right here. It was a Friday. Right here. This candle right here off the reverse. You see this pivot candle right here? And then we hit it right here. I got 1,000% on these, or 1,100% or something on snow that day. It was a Friday. And then I loved snow on Friday. So May 14th was Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this was a Friday right here. Look at the big bullish candle. So just keep an eye on which stocks move which days too. That can have a trend as well. Like Snap loves to move Friday mornings. Today, snow just went nuts. Like it's up 7.67%. It broke through all the resistances, closed almost at the high of the day. I know people that hit these for like 1,000% rolled out to next week, but I missed it. I was very mad at myself. But we move on. I took dumbass Neo instead. Sorry for my language. Here's Shopify. Shopify teased us all day, closed at the high of the day, I think. So it literally just wanted all of us to get zero on our calls, and then it ripped at the end of the day. Because obviously, lottos at the end of the day, they don't pay. And thank you, Hux. We got this resistance line here. What I didn't like about Shop is same pattern as Facebook. So we broke through resistance on big volume. Beautiful. Pulled back, no big deal. Then yesterday on the dip, we closed below that resistance line again. Today we took it out at the end of the day. They just didn't want to pay us, basically. So let's do PFMT. PFMT, these kind of gamma squeeze names aren't, they're not really chart worthy. It's just all about the squeeze and the volume. So no volume came into it yet, as you can see here. Let's see, I'll check the strikes over the weekend. Let's see if there's a gamma squeeze potential here. But other than that, the chart just looks like whatever to me. There's nothing special here. What else did they say? They said T. Go over T-Mobile. This looks like crap. Nothing here at all. No volume. So this is the dividend payout. This is what I was telling T. Around July 10th, they pay a dividend. And I would want to jump in those T calls after July 10th because they always gap down after dividends like this. So the earnings are July 22nd according to TradingView. I got to check that because TradingView tells lies sometimes. There's a big gap to fill on this T. So if T gets a pre-earnings run up, we can go all the way to 28.84. But again, this chart is too ugly to tell what's going to happen. We'll see. So I don't really see anything special in T at all. I just did T Mike Sanchez. God, listen, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so it's Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Lots of sports on this weekend. Have fun. Thank you guys for attending. I will see you on Monday.